Welcome back, everyone. Today we're going to continue reviewing Mariah's entire catalog, and we're going to review an album that I haven't reviewed of hers yet. Her 13th album, Merry Christmas to You. This is Mariah Carey's second holiday album, and the obvious sequel to the 1994 Merry Christmas album. Some people call this the pregnant album, as she had not only one, but 2 cakes in the oven baking while recording this project. That's what hanging with Nick Cannon would get you. But anyway, second holiday album. Does it live up to the original? Stay tuned to find out. Before we begin, if you want to see music bios or more good videos like this, hit the subscribe button. And without further ado, on to our feature presentation. The most recognizable song of this era. It always confused me on why this wasn't a holiday staple, and after listening to this, I kinda understand why. The song comes off as cheerleader energy as she sings about her former lover moving on from her. Yes, it's one of those songs. Mariah's wish from Santa is that he leaves his new lover. Santa scoop him up and shove him down her chimney. The song has one big problem, and it's how wordy the verses come off. I feel like she's trying to cram too many words in said verses, and this is kind of a shame because I wanted to like this song, but it never clicked for me. It's one of those that it happens. And now we begin the covers, and this one meshes 2 holiday staples into one, and this one suffers from Mariah's vocals being overproduced. Also, I'm not the biggest fan of Mariah meshing the 2 songs into one. I'd rather have the songs in 2 separate tracks. In other words, I'll say take it or leave it. Okay, the second original song on this album, and this one's pretty heartwarming. I love Mariah, how she sets the mood for you to get into the Christmas spirit. The mood is so strong that even the Grinch and Scrooge can't deny it. Vocals are lush, and this one is an easy listen. If I had to nitpick, it's that the song feels safe and doesn't try to take a risk, but that's okay for this atmosphere. Overall, I don't have any major issues with this song. Alright, it's time for a confession. My favorite cover of the first Noel was sung by All For One. For one, I wish the song matched its energy, but it still holds true relying on strings and piano. Mariah is a strong enough presence to make this work. Meanwhile, Born is the King interlude, I felt like this was supposed to be a song, but either the idea never came into fruition, or the song never got completed, or she was just playing with the word Born is the King from the song previous. Overall, it's another good performance, not quite in the amazing tier though. Original song number 3, and the best way to describe this song was that this sounds like a song that could have came out during the Emancipation era. Someone else said that this is the Christmas song for grown folks, the type of song you play while the kids are in bed. There's not much to the content, just grown folks Christmas song with adult R&B production with little evidence that it could pass off as a holiday tune, but this is a song that took a risk, and I believe this one worked. I'll say this song is a win. This is what happens when she teams up with Jermaine Dupri to make a Christmas tune, and the production weighs this down big time. Again, cover song prevents me from diving in, but I will give this song one thing and one thing only. The song provides roller rink energy, which Mariah has done before and done afterwards, but for a holiday album, this needs ice skating energy. I'll leave this at the rink, but speaking of ice skating energy, a direct cover of Charlie Brown's Christmas Special, and this one turned out pretty well, but there is one big issue that can't be ignored. The song spends about a minute with Linus and Lucy before we even hear Mariah. The intro should have been its own interlude, but once she gets to Christmas Time is Here, she sounds beautiful. Overall, childhood nostalgia will likely win over for every time, but I always like the original, and Mariah does this one justice. I'll call it a win. Come All Ye Faithful is the best song on the album, and there's one big reason: her mother. If you don't know, Patricia Carey was a trained opera singer, and it's part of the reason why Mariah has a huge vocal range. So when Patricia Carey comes in, you feel her presence, and I'll admit it gave me goosebumps the first time I listened. Also, the songs have a lot of gospel elements that Mariah loves to use throughout her catalog, but I'm gonna close with this: thanking Patricia Carey for giving us one of the greatest vocalists of all time. May you continue to rest in peace. Again, okay, the only difference with this song is that it was performed at the WPC in South Central. It was recorded about 10 years prior to this album coming out. And problem is, while I was lukewarm with the original, I had a hard time finding any stark differences between the two outside of the live setting. It made me question the purpose of this being on the album. Sure, the arrangement is decent, but with the era of streaming, just stick to the original. And even then, that might be telling. Okay, the last original song on the album, and this is basically sets the scene in Bethlehem with the birth of Jesus Christ. I'm not going to get into the entire story because if you know the story, you know. The song tries to sell the one child could change the world trope, and the child that is referring to is Jesus Christ, and he did change the world. Normally, children courses can make or break a song, and this time it makes sense given that the song's title and message. Also, did anyone notice the little drummer boy snares in the production? It's another good song with minimal issues. Okay, I'll be fair to this one by asking this question. Why is this song not on streaming? And that's the question I posed on Reddit, and the answers I got made me like the song considerably less than I already do. It is alleged that the reason why this version was removed from streaming was that they didn't want this version to take away from the original so the original can make its annual run at number 1. It is also alleged that this song is usually available on streaming between the months February and August, once again when the Christmas capitalism isn't taking place. Crazy that I haven't talked about the song itself, but I've already talked about this song 1,000 times on this channel. You already know how much I feel about this. I just don't feel like repeating myself again. Okay, final song on the album. And what do you know? The last song isn't a Christmas song, but instead a New Year's one. But man, I think this was a mistake. Who told Mariah making an EDM anthem would work? Granted, that sound was huge in the early 2010s, and Mariah wanted to test the waters, but the song sound like you would hear at mall retail stores. But again, who would play this? Overall, the song is the anthem of cash grab to take advantage of the moment that has aged pretty roughly today, and it's kind of a disappointing way to end an album. And that concludes this album review. Not matching the same level of the original, but the sequel does have good moments, even if the album didn't end on great terms. I didn't mind Mariah releasing another holiday album, but this feels like a cash grab. As for a ranking, I gave the original a 6 out of 10, and I don't want to give the sequel album a higher score than that, so I'm just going to settle with the same score here, because there are moments where the album shines, and there are moments that leave you scratching your head. It's an okay album at best. And that wraps up Merry Christmas to you. So tell me what you think in the comments below. What is your favorite song from this album? Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. Thanks for watching. Happy holidays, and I'll see you next time.